Check this out. Have you ever thought that pop culture is one of the great disseminators of urban art? With this, it is the responsible for the transforming it from counterculture to art. The same that happened with hips, for example. So, I took 6 pop culture references in graffiti, or in Brazil, Pixação. I will explain a lot in the video, so these references are very discreet, but all of them explain who urban art should be. First, like and subscribe to the channel to help. Enjoy it. Good, then let's go. To begin things up, revive the classic 80s movie now in the present days. Karate Kid continues in the 2018 series Netflix Cobra Kai, now begin starring John Lawrence, but still with the same competition with Daniel San. In this scene, John is remembering some recent HIV events. He tries to resolve them with beer on the street at night, when he still comes upon the image of Daniel San on a billboard, and conveniently, in a need to be back, the street he posts a crazy man spray painting some posters, and with beer turns into barter. That is just the little part of it. The spirit takes over his body and he gets this cock image. First part is that this will not be the last and not the first dig someone will graffiti. In fact, it's one of the basic concepts of Pixação, or graffiti, to curse, to taunt, to mock, especially by using bad words or intimate parts. Old civilizations were already doing this, so imagine our culture. If you've never seen it, go into the public bedroom nearby for this aesthetic experiment. Comment later and let's go on the next one. This is the most random of all, but the gas station simulator is a very good reference. I will explain in a minute why. Basically, you buy a terrible plot of land from your uncle with the idea of reforming a gas station in the middle of the road. In fact, renovation, cleaning, and even the painting has to be redone. Then a teenager shows up into Dennis, graffitiing the abandoned place, and your mission is to scare the teenager. What and why a teenager graffiti? It is to be a result of a fuck-up education system and words mixed with hormones in the blossoming of skin. Or maybe it's simply a necessity to belong in a group, to talk a language that only a few people speak, to somehow stand up. Mine was the first option, and yours. More important, what hood a teenager paints? A cat and his name with a crown on the top, writing King, Pascal reference ever. A classic film from 17th, Warriors tells the story of a gang meeting in New York City. Cyrus, the head of a gang, planned to dominate the city. While giving a speech, is hit in the chest and murdered in front of everyone. Nobody understands where the gunshot came from, so a rival gang accuses the Warriors of the murder. Now has to return to their Coney Island neighborhood, crossing New York City, and the down fleeing from other gangs. One member of the gang is in charge of tagging the locations they pass by with a big table in red. There is this scene in the cemetery, and I recall a picture that should be the fight scene in the bedroom. The idea of the use of Pixação, or tagging, as territory marking was always described as an early connection with hip-hop, where the breakdance groups and graffiti groups would spread their names. For someone from Rio de Janeiro living with some tags of organized crime marking their territories. Somewhat like the concept in Warriors Grand Theft Auto franchise, in 2 games hints at something about tagging. The first game in San Andreas once again connected to the gangs. CJ has to find the graffiti of the rival and cover it up with graffiti from Grove Street. In the second one, Liberty City, we get a New York City, inspired city, and that of course, we couldn't miss some graffitis in the background. While driving along, you could see graffiti from Indy and Cope, who are both legends of bomb style from 18th or 19th. if I'm not mistaken. These two games are very important to understand the difference between graffiti and tagging, or Pixação for Brazilians. Hinge and Cope's style, the bomb style, is considered graffiti. CJ's tags are considered Pixação, which is why they translate for tagging. But name Pixação is much better. Comments down here, Pixação, alright? I'll talk more about this difference in the next reference. Who would have thought that someday million people am going back to work in the trend could have fun playing a game based on one of the big issues of the contemporary cities? I'm talking about subway surfers. That is basically about the graffiti artists on a train parking lot, run away from a security guard. This game reminds me a lot of 10,000s animation. Look if the graphics doesn't remind you. Especially the security guard. But comment here, it's pleasure, is it? Comment below. But I didn't find the game creators, just the company. I don't have any concrete information. The trend painting represents a big change in the graffiti world, or its link to hip hop, earning in the name of graffiti, and begin to occur more elements, color, shapes, characters around. But of great importance, not forgetting your tag and the idea of bomb out the city. To paint a trend has to be put your name on a wall that went all over the city. In the world's largest trend network, by then New York City. The Star Wars movie, it's talk a lot about that. Link is here below to watch it in full video. Of all the videos cited so far here. To finish a reference, that is not a reference, that is one more question. I found an episode of Big Panther, check it out. What she does could be considered Pixação, native for the use of spray paint but for posing. In that case, this stands by imposing a color over the flowers. This fight between private and public, it makes sense? Is it Pixação or not? Comments down here. Don't forget to enjoy the video and sign up of the channel. It will only take 5 seconds. I wait. Thanks for watching it till the end. Social networks have more. Alright, bye.